Thanks a lot, Alexis. I totally appreciate it. By the way, they're gonna have to pry the hemp waffles out of my cold dead head. So it's not gonna happen. Adam, why don't you tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing for Vote Hemp? I know you wear many hats, but
well, Alexis and I are married, by the way. So if anyone was wondering, but we work together in Washington D.C. and recently, in the last, I guess it was on 4/20. We opened the nation's capital's first hemp store. It's called Capitol Hemp, and it was a big risk because we didn't know how the city was going to react to it. But we actually built the store out of industrial hemp fiberboard. Almost all the wood, all the plywood for sure that would have been used in such a build out, everything was substituted with this hemp fiberboard. It's 100% fiberboard. Made from hemp, except there is a glue that holds it together based off of eucalyptus bark. And it's been tested, and there's no formaldehyde in this. And what's really tragic about this is that this hemp is actually grown in China. And so the Chinese get to process the hemp fiberboard. It's right there, and they have a nice labor pool that can do it. And it was an American who developed it. It was an American who came up with the idea, went over there and worked on it. And he had to, bring it back to the United States. And this is a tragedy. And so we try to, in Washington, we're always trying to educate the public that this is a tragedy going on, and there needs to be change. There needs to be change in America. And that's maybe the theme of this election. It reminds me of Bill Clinton in 1992. And Bill Clinton was a big disappointment on many issues, particularly the drug war, which has affected industrial hemp. And we are still dealing with it all these years later. So if there's going to be change in America, it has to be real change. It has to be substantial. And I think that's our job as citizens right now. So Alexis mentioned something. We weren't sure if you were going first or not, but she mentioned this texting thing. And you can do it right now. It really does help. It makes it possible for us to alert you when things are going on. So it's 729-669. 729-669. We need someone to come up with a really good jingle for this. But this will allow you 729-669, and then you write change in the text. I know Barack Obama has been telling people that he will email you. Is anyone here getting his text messages? I am too. I'm on it. It might happen this weekend that he announces who his running mate is, which is going to open up all kinds of questions about what he's about. Who has he become in this whole process of becoming the nominee of the Democratic Party? Is he going to be faithful to his earlier statements? And on industrial hemp, when he was in the Illinois legislature, he voted for it. He voted for resolutions. He's on the record. And we have to go by that. That wasn't that many years ago. He was in the state legislature. So this is a very exciting time for us. We really could benefit from it, but we can't lose sight of it. We have to have perspective that we've been in similar situations as we were in the Clinton years, and we didn't get the change we wanted. And so, I mentioned the store in Washington D.C. It's great having a place for people in the nation's capital to walk in and get the best of all the hemp industry has to offer. And coming to Seattle Hempfest, this is my third Seattle Hempfest, and meeting all the people here and meeting such an open-minded society here. It's a society. It's not just a little subculture. It's a society. It's the whole society in this state. From what I've experienced, is very open-minded, and I feel like we've brought back what what we've learned here as East Coast people to the nation's capital, and now we're exposing a whole new group of people to it. And people who are from the West Coast who happen to be living in Washington, it's a very transient town, they come to the store and it's like home for them. So I just want to say it's great to be here, and what I work on primarily regarding industrial hemp, besides the store, which was a new project, has been to writing press releases, making sure there's a voice in the media on a consistent basis, advocating the food and cosmetics and clothing and the industrial products like auto parts. We still have millions of cars on the road right now that every year they're being added to the road that are made with hemp body parts, the door panels, and this is something that I think we'll see a lot more of in the future. Everyone's talking about greening this economy, and hemp fits right into substituting for petroleum-based products. and that's the future. And I think the whole entire cannabis movement will benefit from this shift of awareness in the society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam. That's amazing, amazing, great work, and I'm glad to see it taking place on the East Coast as well. I think the West Coast has been a little bit ahead on these issues for some time, and it's great that you're bringing some of that wisdom back.
Absolutely.
Summer, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're working on and what's going on in the more enviro-textile segment of hemp?
All right. Well, you know, Enviro Textiles is a hemp fabric supply and import company. My mother's Barbara Philippone. She started working with hemp fabrics 17 years ago. And it was when the majority of the fabrics that you saw in the U.S. market were coming out of Eastern Europe. A lot more limited, not so much a lot of the hand you see on today's market. So over the years, she's worked on developing fabrics that are standardized and can be picked up by those mainstream companies and hit the mainstream marketplaces and help raise more awareness in return.
So the next step beyond Peruvian hoodies.
Yeah, a bit more. Yeah, and of course this year we had a record-breaking, breakthrough year for hemp fashions, which we'll get into here in a minute. I have a few samples to kind of show people. We're also doing a hemp fashion show at 3 today and 3 tomorrow. It'll really blow your mind to see how far fashions come, fabrics have come, and what is all out there.
Is that here, Summer?
That is here, yeah, in the Hemposium.
Hemposium fashion show at 3 p.m. That'll be great.
Yes, about 3:10. Yeah.
Right after Rick Steves.
Yes, right after Rick Steves. And tomorrow, right after the HIA panel. So I'm also on the board for HIA. I was honored to be voted on last summer and sit on the board with my peers. Grown up, you know, looking up to all these guys and learning just a phenomenal amount from all of these guys that have pioneered the industry for us. You know, we have come such a long way. The HIA, I'm sure they're going to talk, has really made some big moves in the last year. Some of the things that happened for hemp textiles this year, we were very lucky to have every top name designer, Donna Karan, Ralph Lauren, Versace, all did concept looks on the runway in New York to launch New York Fashion Week. And so we had these top name designers and every top name wanted model showing hemp. It then went from being shown in the window of Barney's Fifth Avenue for the whole month of February. We also did, so nobody can say hemp's not high fashion.
Out of the hemp shops and on a high street. That's fantastic.
Right. We also had the pleasure to work with MTV's Pimp My Ride. Some of you may have seen it. They did an Earth Day special with a 65 Impala. Turned out great. And that return picked up a lot of awareness of people looking out there and going, what is available? And VW's been offering the option to have hemp interior for years, and it's slowly grown, and then all of a sudden MTV hits and they are rocking the hemp at VW now too.
Got to hemp my Westphalia or pimp my Westphalia. That'd be a great idea. I love it.
Yeah. Well, and it's, I mean, you know, everywhere you look right now, it's go green. And if you catch things, I don't really get to watch too much TV. You know, and when I do, it's like give me something that I can relax to. But everywhere you look, there's HD TV next week. If you have cable and leave it on HD TV, you'll catch hemp once a week on that network. They're really supporting it. Everybody's talking about the advantages. You know, a lot of people started becoming a lot more aware of what they eat once Super Size came out, Super Size Me a few years ago. And now people are starting to more think about what they wear. You know, when you think about what you are putting right on your skin and sucking right into your pores, really it makes a